Hello, it's Estrella with a reading for the collective. I hope that this message finds everyone well. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. Let's see, what do we need to know today? Impartiality. Balance. Isolation, completion, impasse. Got passion, perfection, and creation as well here. So I feel like there's something that you've been perfecting, that you've been creating, maybe more than one thing, something that makes you passionate. You've tried to be very, or maybe there's been impartiality around you. These both feel like forms of justice and balance here, the scales of balance. And this says paint and pain, and you can't see the T. This gives me the feeling of like observance, mindfulness, as far as justice goes, and what's the word? Using time with moderation. This gives me like balance and moderation. These are things you've learned while you've been isolated, but this is the, there's things that you've been trying to complete, and there's been a lot of, blockages, right? So this is what this is about. I feel like this is about you being blocked with these things that you've been, you've been expanding, and you've been following your passions. And so this is about the areas where you've been blocked, and how you're going to expand, especially in relation to this, the negative versions of these, like impartiality is like, this gives me like gaslighting, like something that you've worked on or are working on, sort of like a just very lukewarm response, but that like as a form of rejection, a lack of fairness, and isolation. But a lot of you have used the time to learn something from each of these things. Like again, if you've been treated as if you don't matter, or what you've been putting forth is just garbage, or it's uninteresting, unnecessary, what's the word, uninspiring, but that there's something good, or it's just, it's the outside world's not matching what to be true in your heart, and then, well, with that you end up being able to be more mindful. So it's the opposite of that. The imbalances have helped you to create a balance, an inner balance, in spite of the injustices. I always think about like Nelson Mandela. While he was in jail, he like came out so strong. He was in this cell and he didn't know what was going to happen to him. He probably had a feeling, but he had like a mission and an idea, where he was headed, and that's what kept him going. And he came from the heart. I mean, I don't know him, right? But that's the impression that I get. And so like in his isolation, because this is like a tool being used to punish and stop you, but in your isolation, you became more, we'll say, like enlightened within yourself. You use the time to connect with sources higher than yourself. You use the time to look inwards and reflect, and things that you were trying to complete, the endings that you you came up against over and over and over again. Instead of those things ending, you expanded and improved upon them, and you also came up with several versions and additional things that you're interested in building. Branches. So you have a myriad of things now at your fingertips that you've built because of all of this negativity, caused by these purposeful impasses. So that is really good. It doesn't sound good, but when you look at it like this, it sounds terrible. But you know that these things that you feel passionate about, that you've perfected with mindfulness. That is what we're talking about here. We're coming to an end of a cycle. I just saw the World card. Yeah, strength, the strength that you've built, and a lot of the ego is like out of the way, because I'm not saying it's perfect, but you've learned to supersede your own ego. Yeah, impartiality. Look at that. Temperance. Impartiality. It's like the two buckets. That's 2 buckets of liquid, and we've got 2 cups of liquid. Temperance. Moderation. Yeah, I use the word moderation. Mindfulness. Healing. Serenity. That's like, to be able to observe your situation and be this Queen of Swords. You've gained so much from experiencing, I'm going to use the word bigotry, but I mean it like towards your being, as it's not race or gender, it's just bigotry towards your being as like a, very spiritual, love-centered, unique individual. So you've gained so much from this experience. You've turned pain into, I don't know what that word's. Yeah, balance. Look at that Empress. That's what I mean. That like yin energy, that giving energy, the injustice has I don't, on larger scale, what did they intend, right? What was this person intending? But then, on a larger scale, it's like what you gained from it. There are aspects of yourself that, you would never take back now, right? From what you've learned. Because this Empress, to give birth, it's very painful. So to become an Empress, or this Empress energy, you have now can embody all queens in the deck. So this is happiness, development, success. These are tools that you can take with you. This isolation. Yeah, not getting the investments, being kept apart from your dreams and things that you love, isolating you so that you can't receive, right? Some of you have like businesses to, that you've been trying to build to help the community, or just something that really drives you, that you're passionate about, but have been blocked in every way, in certain ways that are just like, makes zero sense. But like I said, in that isolation, it's like, Siddhartha sat under the tree. Siddhartha purposely sat under the tree to understand suffering. That's the Buddha. And so, it's like to get you closer to the other ascended masters. This experience grew you so much. Seeing the death of these completions every time you would try to finish what you started. But these very, very weird behaviors from people, it caused you to go inwards and become more enlightened. More. That's what this is, the hermit. Enlightenment. It's written right there. That's what happened. Impasse. It could have been, maybe there's a few times where you cried or it gave you anxiety, but I feel like you were able to transmute it. You always transmuted it. So now it strengthened your ability to turn, alchemize the negative into the positive, essentially. And a lot of you did this without any sort of partnership or assistance or support. Very little support. So that is really good. And wondering what we need to know about this. Like, why is this popping up? Because this is everything that I feel like has happened to you up to this point, and how you've responded to it. Yeah, I just heard a ding. So this is like everything that's happened to you and how it affected you and how you grew from it and how much stronger and powerful you are. Principle, you'd say very principle, balance, and healing. As a Queen of Swords, intelligent, you were graceful, observant, you were impartial, very, very balanced. Yeah. Let me see balance here as well. Empress, protection. Yeah, you protected yourself amidst the injustice. You were your own mother, and I'm going to say your own father as well. You parented yourself through the injustices with this status, this isolation, trying to turn gaslight your character, turn you upside down, status, reversed, isolation, keep you isolated from, situations where it was all about like status or something, to stop you from being able to create or invent or get your mission out into the world. Completion, hermit, these losses weren't losses, they were ways to perfect your work and who you are and get more enlightened. It was like a bluff, the whole thing. The lies. these like mini deaths, right? Every time you could see what people were doing, but it just became more and more like a grand. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Idiocracy, but it probably started to feel like that, like, or it's like a circus, right? Like you're living in a circus. Like, what is wrong with everyone? So then you turned inwards. Like, some of you dealt with really big lies, huge lies, and suffered losses because of that. But again, you transmuted that. You've transmuted that and become more enlightened because of it. So this impasse is you, rather than have it sort of tear your mind up and your heart up, rather than have it be a nightmare for you, you learned patience, control, tranquility, and yeah, you did. All right, so anything else we need to know about that? Yeah, you didn't absorb whatever these, like, I'm gonna say unfair or absurd criticisms of your character, or misunderstandings, or the lies, or whatever it was. You didn't. This looks like someone who didn't crack under extreme under extreme circumstances. Yeah, look, there's isolation again. Isolation. You were being, I mean, this is a very big deck for this to come out twice. Isolation. So you're someone who's been isolated. Okay. Could have been dealing with someone from your past, and it all has to do with some like spiritual connection that you have with someone, just gone completely awry and turned into like a Mandela effect kind of absurdity. So that's where we're at with that. There's obviously a reason. This is like kind of showing you exactly what you went through and how you know, maybe this is to help you see how far you've come and just how amazing you are. Because this is a lot. That's why I think of Mandela. He just came out of that cell just so beautiful, didn't he? If you look back at history, if you look at the pictures of him and stuff, and I know with the Mandela effect, because we're talking about, some people think he died in prison, and then some people are like, no, he came out and he became president of South Africa. That's what happened. But there's some people who remember him dying in prison. I remember him becoming president. So there are other people, you know, there are other people through history to look back at if that one feels like a funny analogy. So let's see what it is that we need to know about that. Why are we being shown how far you've come? So there's some sort of like higher friend. This is like unorthodox organization, principles, religion, leader, someone. It can be very closed-minded, sort of dominance over ideas. This could be what was a big, you know, this could have been a big problem for you. So there's someone who couldn't make a choice or feels stuck. didn't have the confidence. This King of Cups could be a very manipulative person, or emotions all over the place. Connecting to some, like, it could be religion, marriage, Hierophant, religious leader. Four of Wands in reverse, Page of Wands. So someone kind of getting the message that something about like the union not coming together, or not having a milestone, or not having, this is like disarray, never arriving. It just feels like never arriving. This bad news about never arriving. It's like never graduating, or never getting the party, or never getting the connection, the union, the passionate home base from which to manifest from, the perfect home base, the most balanced, lovely home base to manifest from. So that's got bad news for someone, but it's in their subconscious. In the recent past, someone felt really like burdened by something, maybe shamed. I feel like this wants to come out. Three of Wands, this is about like someone's taken some actions. They've already taken the actions, they made up. So that's the thing. Two of Wands is, this is the challenge. Someone wants to make a choice and, you know, get the courage to go. This could be traveling as well. Someone might be traveling, intending on traveling. But this could be after a choice has been made, taking some actions and waiting for their ships to come in. So I just need one more. Can I get one more for Three of Wands? I'm not sure I picked the right card. Eight of Coins. Yeah, that's somebody like choosing not to put the work in, choosing to do something unkind, putting a lot of work in, or being very lazy, and just waiting for their ships to come in. I don't know, because it seems like they're already trying to work up the courage. Their feelings are all over the place, really manipulative. In the near future, we have Five of Cups reversed. So very, a lot of sadness and regret. So we've got someone, this is like the internal workings of a person who is in a situation that's very unorthodox, or has done something very unorthodox, or there's a tradition or something that is very oppressive or not working. This person's lacking in courage or in direction. They're very manipulative. Their emotions are all over the place. They feel like they don't have the incentive to get to this sort of like Eden on earth. They're missing it. There's bad news. They feel shamed and burdened. They've got too much on their plate, a lot of baggage, carrying a lot of baggage. They want their ships to come in, but they don't want to put the work in. They might even be doing something mean, intending to do something mean. In the near future, we have, you know, a lot of regret and loss. This person's trying to think of new ways to address the situation, approach the situation. There seems to be a High Priestess in the reverse in their environment. So this could be someone who is giving very bad advice, very, very bad advice. This person could act like they know a lot, but they don't. High Priestess in reverse can be a secret as well. Feminine energy that's very secretive. Chariot is, this person would like to get control of their environment. They're trying to think of new ways to approach a situation, but yeah. Outcome, Seven of Coins. This feels like kind of whatever they've been crops they've been planting, when they come out of the ground and can be seen, they're not what this person wants. It's a reap what you sow type of card. This person really also wants to be seen. They want accolades, they want public approval, they want to be seen as the sort of like hero or victor after a battle. So this person is really driven a lot by like how they're seen, and they want approval, but doesn't feel like they're really doing very much for that. And they're kind of getting like, they're not putting the work in, they're getting bad guidance. They have no confidence, a lot of baggage. It's weird that this is like connected to the reading before, talking about like what's happened to you and how you've, like, I hope this is not some form of you feeling like you're never gonna get what you know, after growing, you've grown so much, and then feeling like you are so far away from, you know, everything you built after so much, I'll just call it like injustice. But you're trying to figure out, you know, what to do next, and feeling like maybe people are viewing you at like, you know, always this sort of like outsider energy, like never approved of, always too different, people threatened by or mocking or misunderstanding your spirituality, you know, feeling outcast. That could be you, but I feel like if it is, we're gonna address that, because you could have been through so much and just feel like you need a break to like go lay by the lake or something. You know, it's been a lot, but I don't think that's you. If it is, it's temporary, very, very temporary, or, you know, you could be getting that energy from other people and taking it on for yourself. But I really feel like this is someone else. So let's just keep going. Hierophant reverse. Sun. So there's something that's being sort of illuminated about some way of thinking, a religion, a group. Something just feels really turned upside down, and it's being illuminated. Yeah, or someone is gaining something from something, or has been trying to gain something from some unorthodox means. Yeah, the problem is this person is feeling, you know, this is a manifestation. This is in the challenge position, so either this is prosperity without happiness, so this could be someone who has, you know, they want to be in the spotlight, in the sunlight, and they might have money, or this is choosing to be in the spotlight with this Hierophant in reverse kind of organization or religion or whatever it is, but it's turned upside down. So it's I'm even hearing the word blasphemous in some cases, because Hierophant reversed, being, you know, God or religion, but turned upside down, can be blasphemous. Even an abomination is 10 of, you know, Hierophant reverse, religion, but trying to gain glory from it. That's what makes it blasphemous. but then this person isn't, either they're not happy, they got the glory, or they're driven by this glory, and either they got some gain, financial gain, but they're unhappy, or there's a loss, or there's a lot of corruption and connection to it. And that's why this person's feelings are either all over the place because they got the coin, What's the guy that says, my precious, and he's just like after the gold. It's like either that energy, like this person just like turned inside out on them. They just became this like creature after the coin, their soul ever like trapped in the cycle of like the search for a coin, and that's just how they're seen, is who they are now, or they've lost a lot because of being incentivized by this, I'm gonna say like blasphemy, whatever we'll call it, blasphemy, in order to have gain and to be seen. Someone wants to be seen with the Six of Wands here. They just want to be seen in the glory, and they're driven by financial gain. But it's like they've lost their confidence and their feelings are all over the place, and they can't figure out how to get this King of Cups. I feel like it's a masculine energy, there could be major endings that they're going through. This could be connected to the energy that was part of the spread right before, was part of this Hierophant reverse, which is all about like the things that kept you isolated, impartiality, creating impasses, all of these things, in order to be in the spotlight. So like, I'm not saying that this is what it is, but it reminds me again of like, if you look at like different rap artists and stuff in the music business, how they talk about like people having to sacrifice someone to have it come up. It reminds me of this energy. It's the same, and I'm not saying this is what this person did, but it's this very similar vibe. That's why I'm getting off of the cards, because someone wants, to be in the spotlight, and they'll use some system that's structured but it's unorthodox. So someone's like, could be an organization or a group, like a group of people who do things to become part of the spotlight, right? And if we look at the spread before it, what were the things that they did, and we see exactly what happened to you. And so that's how I'm arriving at those things together. But Page of Wands, Four of Wands, it's like news of like not being able to get into union, or not getting, that's in their subconscious. Yeah, I said like you can't get into Eden. That's what I said. You can't get into Eden. This is like missing the chance to get into Eden because of all of this dark energy. Because it's like I always think of the if you look into the Essenes and what they were into, it's interesting because at that time, like as I understand it, there was people, like a lot of traveling. So it was like people were getting information from all parts of the world, and there was this like, almost like, it's like this Kundalini kind of awakening, but those were actually early Jews. And that's actually where they say that Jesus came from, the Essenes. And like, so they practiced like meditation, and they were all about like raising the vibration and staying very pure and staying close to the divine. And like also when you think of ascending, and when we talk about like getting to the next layer of evolution, your heart has to be light. It has to be light, because for one, if you can't open up to receive the light, you won't be able to receive it because of the shame you feel, right? The shame will push away the light. So have to be, the heart has to be like honest, or it's a self-judgment. It's like a reaction that happens even inside the body. It's like the molecules. So it's like by embracing this, it makes it really hard to, receive the light. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like by embracing this and choosing this energy, the Four of Wands, which is this like, it's like Eden on earth. It's that beautiful feeling. It's available. It's a perception shift, which is like an energy shift to be this. So this person had this, but in Four of Wands, it's released. It's like getting the message that they have been like kicked out of heaven. I know it's very, very metaphorical. It's very esoteric, but I don't mean metaphorical, I mean esoteric. But that's kind of the energy I get. It's like this person feels like in order to be the spotlight, they would do anything. This person would do anything. And then the reason this is in the subconscious is because, that's what I said. It's blasphemous. It's a blasphemy. But there's an abomination here. And there just is. And so this is in their subconscious. It hasn't come up yet. And I don't really know why anyone would do that. I don't know why anyone would do that. I just see lunacy here. Some deception, confusion. 10 of Wands. You have to raise the vibration. Ten of Wands, just really a lot of baggage from like a lot of like being intolerant and cruel, opinionated, ruthless, carrying a lot of baggage from that. Just feeling really emotionally stuck. Okay, so like what I'm talking about, like the lightness of being here, like with the tree of life. Here, this is the abyss. It's the abyss. And it's the space between the upper Sephiroth, the supernals, and the other 7 below them. And it forms a separation between the upper worlds where everything exists on a purely spiritual plane, and the lower worlds where things become more formed and ultimately manifest in the physical world. And this abyss right here is a barrier. It's a barrier in both directions, and it keeps what does not belong on the other side from crossing over easily. It doesn't mean that it cannot be crossed. It's only to do so takes special preparation and work. And the key to crossing the abyss lies in Da'ath, the mystical bridge that spans the abyss outside of, yet within the tree of life. So Da'ath looks like this, right? So this is inside the abyss, but this is Da'ath right here. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But it exists within the abyss. It's the domain that it's between creator and creation. It's an ethereal portal, and it represents the balance of the masculine and the feminine principles, and also the limit of conventional intelligence. And it's a bridge that, through gnosis or intuitive knowledge of spiritual truth, allows us to access the supernals. And working with Da'ath can help us to let go of worldly illusions and deepen our understanding of the divine. So it's like, to get to this upper realm, it's like when I say the Essenes, like, to be able to let go of the body, be secure enough that, it's protected for one, but be able to raise the vibration to get into that space. It's like it's this Eden here. It's being missed by this person because the vibration is too low in the lower realms. It's in the lower realms. It's hard to get into that vibration. And let me see. I'm trying to if you want to see this, this is like the same thing, but like with tarot. Right here's like this is where Doph is, right? That's the high priestess. That's a correspondence in the Kabbalah of the Tree of Life. These Kabbalah cards here, Tree of Life. So this high priestess, not like this high priestess is turned upside down. So this high priestess is getting information from the lower realms. And, you know, yeah, the idea is to get up here, but the person has to be light enough of being to get through, you know? So that's why it is not good to embrace this energy, because dang, what I'm trying to say is embracing this energy, it's enough to, like, you know, master the lower realms, but then it's like it's tricky. It's very tricky, and then one can get stuck and unable to ascend, you know, to ascend. You want lightness of being, and you want a light heart. You want to get close to the world of origins. Yeah. So this person, that's why it feels like, you know, this person has the capacity to or had, with this Four of Wands, this union, this availability of union on earth, has an other half, the soulmate, the twin soul, but opted for this. And so now it's like a hall of mirrors, or feeling lost in this, because the heavier it gets, the harder it is to ascend to get the answers. And then it just becomes, yeah, and this person starts to lose their sense of direction, call it. I don't know what happened to the card that was here. That's interesting. So, what was there? I don't know why I got into all of that. 8 of coins. Maybe it'll be useful for someone. Not putting in the work in with some union. That's how they're seeing the future. Waiting for their ships to come in. This is like folly, tension, silly action, rejection, separation. Waiting for their ships to come in, but not putting the work in, or doing something really mean. 5 of Cups, feeling a sense of loss around balance and healing. It's like wanting that, but not being able to. They're looking at contract or relationship or choice in love. This High Priestess in the reverse. This is like very false. Wanting to walk away from someone who's very false. There's someone very manipulative here, this High Priestess in reverse, in the environment. This could be someone giving someone bad advice, being very manipulative, telling this person to walk away from something. And this person probably feels like, yeah, they feel like they are in the lower realms and can't it's whoever this is, it's easy to dissuade this person. This person responds to this type of energy. Chariot, getting control of the environment. They want hope and faith. And that's that higher vibration energy. They want it. But they're not really taking the actions to do it. And they just seem like they're still very much driven by like being seen in a certain light. Outcome, justice reverse. Yeah, I feel like that's like a you will reap what you sow type of outcome for this energy. Very, whatever injustices, feels like they're just gonna come back. Yeah. Oof. Ace of Swords in the reverse. This is like corruption in exchange for accolades. Six of Wands. This is like wanting to be seen as like the victor and having like all this praise, but being very corrupt to do it. Which just seems funny to me. Like, why would somebody want the accolades for having done something corrupt? It's false. You know? It's false. So it's like having someone else run the race for you and then you stand in at the finish line and then everyone cheers for you. It's like, well, you didn't actually run the race. Why are you, seeking that type of attention? Because it's not your victory to be had. It's, because this person doesn't put the work in and they listen to bad advice but they want that energy. They want to raise that vibration, but they're not doing anything about it. Yeah, and there's been like a lot of corruption and stuff, and that's the part about like the lower realms and then just getting caught in that cycle and that circle just ends up a reap what you sow. It just, the choice to embrace this for sort of like temporary gain and indulgence and all of that stuff, or even going into agreement with this, it's like falling. It's falling. I don't know how else to explain it. It's embracing that for, it's an illusion though, or temporary gain. So it's the longest reading ever. Let's see. I mean, this person is obviously feeling very emotional all over the place, feeling like they need to manipulate to get what they want, either very unhappy with the things that they have or feeling like they just can't get a break. But they're repeating the same cycle, and so the outcome is going to be the same. And only it's going to be more repercussions on top of the repercussions that were already there. It's like they want this healing. I see it here, temperance, star, they really do. And then who is this high priestess in reverse? Just get like, that person has to also now deal with this whole cycle because they're contributing to somebody else's downfall, really. That's what that is. What does that person stand to gain? I don't know. Sun. Travel. Doing something unorthodox. Being illuminated. Something's being illuminated. Could be illuminated. Something's unorthodox. Something being grudge holder reverse. I did say travel earlier. Somebody like moving on from a situation. Two of Cups I get from travel as well. some sort of like choice in love. Someone wants to just be happy, let go of the grudge, do something unorthodox, go against the system, be happy. Problem is someone's just, their emotions are all over the place, trying to get the confidence. They're very emotional. They're losing a blessing. They feel like some sort of like obsession with what's curious about you in their subconscious. Some very, very deeply held obsession that borders on whatever it is. It like has dragged this person. They've turned something upside down that's a blessing. They've turned it upside down. It's inverted. Something got inverted here. 10 of Wands. King of Wands. Someone was very forceful, forcing their way, severe. King of Wands in the reverse, ruthless, cruel. It's like a lot of baggage in correspondence to whatever those actions were. They might have already just done something in the recent past to someone or in a situation. Their intentions are something about blocked. I don't know if this is like to block someone, or they feel blocked, they feel rejected. Yeah, love on the brain, thinking a lot about love, waiting for their ships to come in, but feeling like blocked, like they took a silly action. Or what is this again? Coins. 8 of Coins, not putting the work in, just feeling blocked, and they just don't know. This person doesn't know. Chasing isn't going to work. Feeling they can't chase. Chasing has stopped. There's balance here. Lovers. Lovers. Reflecting on a choice to maybe, there's someone there who like steals ideas, copies work, feeds off of someone, real groupie energy. They're thinking about that choice, or they're, I don't know, they're with someone that's reflecting. They're with someone that's reflecting. They're with someone who is those things, is very maybe also focused on the same energy, where this devil's connected, this curious about you. 4 of Wands in reverse. In their head a lot, this person's not thinking. Whoever this High Priestess is in the reverse doesn't know. Where they're getting their information from is just, who knows. They might present them, I don't know, this person wears a lot of beads or something, and they just come across like they know something, but they don't. Triggered, extra triggered. This person wants to let go of all of this inflammatory, behavior and actions, and their life is just become a big mess. They want to be able to dust it off and heal and have hope. They want to get control of their life. They seem to like be with someone who can only just think about still like stealing something from someone, who is sort of obsessed with, I feel like this is a divine masculine who, well, let me just get to the outcome. Can't wait anymore. Something about a happiness hater. Whatever this was, this reap what you sow injustice is connected to a happiness hater. Someone hating someone's happiness. Someone wants a victory, the inside scoop over a situation. I feel like this is a divine masculine who wants to let go of a grudge, would like to be happy, is still in some sort of unorthodox situation. They'd like to maybe go for a trip, or they are traveling. They like to be in the spotlight. This person feels frustrated. They might have the funds and be unhappy and all over the place anyway. The money that they were after is not bringing them happiness. The ostentation, whatever it was, it's not. That's not where the joy is. Or they're suffering a loss. They're suffering a loss, and things aren't coming in. They can't manifest. And what I was saying was like this, the tree of life, or to manifest from, the higher vibration is the better spot to manifest from, because it turns into this owing, and then when you owe, it's not convenient, and it doesn't leave you happy. So the whole point is to be happy, right? This Four of Wands, which is now turned upside down. And there's some weird obsession going on in the subconscious. And someone did something here. Someone just feels very weighted down. Someone's very ruthless. They did something just in the recent past. But it's like they want love, but they feel blocked, and they want the ships to come in. Maybe they're intending on traveling, but they could be intending on doing something mean while also thinking about love simultaneously. And in the near future, there's something about like someone's not chasing anyone anymore, or someone's not chasing someone, and someone has balance and healing. They're more interested in that, and this person's feeling a sense of loss and grief about it. They have to make a choice in love though, because they're with someone who is just this sort of like, creativity mantra that just like feeds off of I think it's the same divine feminine. This is who this person is thinking about. So they've got someone that they're with that is also thinking about this person, who kind of feeds off of them and does like, it's a copycat energy. It's like a couple that's focused on someone way too much here. And then there's a high priestess in the reverse who seems to be guiding things that isn't getting their information. They're being very manipulative and trying to tell someone to walk away from something. They could be putting this person into their head a lot, so they can't think straight about how to correct their life. It's probably easy to do because this person's susceptible to this kind of an energy, and they just really want to appear a certain way. So any sort of like corruption or lie, just to like, here's Six of Wands again, to just get that like public recognition and appear like there's triumph. That's what's driving this person, and it's just spiraling them. They want healing and they want to get control, but it seems like they're just still moving in the same direction. Yeah, I feel like this is connected to all the stuff that happened in that first spread to you. All the stuff that happened, the isolation and all that stuff, it's connected. This is the same kind of couple. This is where they're at. This doesn't feel happy at all. It feels like a loss. It feels like someone wants to heal, but they're not taking the actions to do it, and they're surrounded by, they've got to deal with this like devil in the subconscious. They had to deal with that to lighten their load, so that they can ascend and turn this Four of Wands this way, I suppose. I don't know, I'm not giving advice for this person. I just know that the High Priestess in reverse in the environment is giving them bad advice. Bad advice. They come across as spiritual, but they're wearing a mask. This person is very moody and manipulative, trying to get them to walk away from something and get them really in their head, so that they don't follow their heart and get to the truth of the matter. Yeah, it looks like they just go downhill here, dealing with hating happiness, because they're not embracing happiness. They're hating it, and so then they have to experience what they're putting out, whatever corruption and untruths this is. So there you go. I hope that helps if you resonate with this message. Bye.